Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to the Unpopular Opinion Podcast, a show where we have an opinion and it's more than likely going to be unpopular. So, in the wake of all the news that's been happening in the world, obviously Game of Thrones having a disappointing finale, another side point has unfortunately got swept under the rug, and that was the announcement of Rick and Morty Season 4. That's right, everybody's favourite nihilistic duo in the science fiction comedy world are coming back for a fourth season in November, and it was met with a lukewarm response. Realistically, I did not hear anybody really getting excited about it when it was shared online. Like, I don't think anybody really gave much of a consideration towards it, you know?
I think it was the 2-year gap. If you're going to have a 2-year gap, people are going to forget. Like, a 2-year gap since season 3, people are going to forget. And they did the exact same thing between season 2 and season 3. So, yeah, I think that played a part in the lack of excitement.
It's odd because, like, you know, this is Rick and Morty we're talking about here. And Rick and Morty is obviously one of the biggest TV shows going in the world right now.
You could argue it's the biggest comedic cartoon.
It's the biggest comedic cartoon that's going right now. Like, you know, I went to the cinema to go see Hereditary last year. And now, even though there is nothing completely Rick and Morty related in a cinema whatsoever, they were still selling Rick and Morty posters and t-shirts. You go to the HMV, they're selling Rick and Morty t-shirts and posters and stuff like that. I mean, I'm lying to... I mean, I'm being a bias there because I've got the Rick and Morty art book in my house because I think some of the designs of the xenomorphs, particularly when Beth becomes a xenomorph in the episode where, you know, the Tiny Rick episode, I think that was a cool design.
Yeah, some of the animation in those older episodes and some of the art style is really cool. That's one thing Rick and Morty has going for it. It's always been a very unique looking show. Nothing else really looks like Rick and Morty, does it?
And nothing else really feels like Rick and Morty as well. And it's really coined into a new sort of fandom and generation. However, we've now got season 4. So, on the whole, like, are you excited for season 4 coming out? Because, like, I should point out, Louis stayed up till 2:30 in the morning watching all of season 3 because he hasn't watched it yet.
I did. I've watched the first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty about 2 years ago, and then I never really got around to watching season 3. So I watched it last night, and it was, on a whole, it was an okay season. I'd probably rate it 7 out of 10. There was a good 5 or 6 episodes I really liked, and then there was a few I was not a big fan of. So I really liked the Pickle Rick episode, the one where Morty's arm gets huge. Yeah. An episode I was not a fan of was the one where they kept inserting memory capsules.
Oh yeah, that was a bad episode. I wasn't a fan of that one.
It's just loads of clips, and it feels really all over the place, and the structure's just weird. It's like one of those old Simpsons episodes where they just show clips from old episodes.
Yeah.
It just felt like a waste of an episode in the series.
See, my problem was I was very disappointed with season 3. There was a lot in it that was good, and there was a lot in it that was really well, but it had one of the worst finales to an episode, I think, of a TV show. Not Game of Thrones, but, like, you know, like because like, you gotta remember, like, the ending of season 2 was a really troubling, traumatic, but brilliant episode in which Rick sacrifices himself to save his family because he wanted them to be better, and even though he felt that he was going to betray the family, they all moved on without him, and that was great. And he goes to prison, all to the theme of Hurt by Nine Inch Nails, and it's powerful and it's good stuff. So you're just like, where can they go after all this? And season 3's ending was just like, yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it felt like because obviously the end of season 2 leads right into season 3.
Yeah.
So it felt like a sort of continuity, and it felt like they didn't want to do that anymore. They just wanted to go back to standalone episodes where Rick and Morty go on a self-contained adventure.
Yeah.
And then by the next episode, it's completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why if you really liked the ending to season 2, you would be quite disappointed by season 3. Also, Jerry and Beth getting back together felt very forced, but you know.
Oh, like, can I just say one thing now? I'm gonna address this, and this is like I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't care anyway. I hate Jerry. I want him to die.
Oh no!
If anything happens in season 4, Jerry's death has to happen. I hate pathetic characters, and Jerry is the most pathetic person in existence. And the more Rick proves it, the more we understand, yes, Jerry's an arsehole. He's willing to blame his kids for the breakup of an alien partner because he's not willing to, you know, actually just be a true adult and just do it himself. Like, I just hate Jerry. I hate Jerry.
He's got a good heart.
But that's the thing. This, like, the show is so nihilistic though in its own way.
Yeah, that's why I like him, because he stands out so much.
Yeah, like, the show is so depth in nihilism that it's not about having a good heart. It's about how you live in this world. Because the second last episode of Rick and Morty, when Rick gives that speech to Beth, when he says, "When you know nothing matters, the universe is yours.
Yeah,
you have free reign over and controlling it. That's an existentialism theory. And I love that because that is everything that I try to live by. And it's up in the air. It's an ambiguous thing of whether or not you think Beth's a clone or not. And I love that. But you get to this season finale, you're just kind of like, oh, well, looks like everything's back to normal then. Like, there's going to be more misadventures of Rick and Morty doing their own self-contained things and nobody's going to... I just could not give a shit.
It's a pro and a con, isn't it? Because it means we're not going to have to be stuck in this same plot structure that the end of Season 2 and Season 3 and the start of Season 3 were in. We're going to get... maybe more unique episodes. It's kind of like how The Simpsons was. Like, it's very rare that two Simpsons episodes tell the same story. Maybe the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode.
Yeah.
But it's always different stuff. And I think maybe they just didn't want to put themselves in a box when it came to writing.
I don't know, because but you say this, right? But like Dan Harmon, the writer, the co-writer and creator of Rick and Morty, he's all about structure and being in a box. He loves doing structure. Like there's videos on him online showing you how he does his writing for Rick and Morty, and it's all in this self-contained box of what he thinks is important for how a Rick and Morty episode should be written. Yeah. So it's a surprise for like if you think that they're wanting to get away from that, but it's like I think Dan Harmon really wants to stick in the structure. Like it's not like I mean I think like he's obviously got different opinions to how he thinks about Rick and Morty now and all this sort of stuff. Like he quite clearly hates the fan base.
Would you say his heart's not in it anymore?
Oh god, yeah, you could tell that.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Like I mean, for a lot of people, like like obviously, like when the news came out, I genuinely thought there would be more of an abuzz and excitement about it than
they released it at a strange time with the finale of Game of Thrones, and you could say with Endgame coming out, it kind of got buried under the rug.
Yeah. Like
it's a weird time to announce. I still think season 4 will do well because Rick and Morty has a very loyal, if slightly cringy fan base.
Loyal and vocal and cringy fan base. The sort of cringy fan base that stand on top of a McDonald's counter and scream that they want Szechuan sauce. That's online, by the way. If you can find a video for that, it's embarrassing.
I think that might have been a parody, but I guess we'll never know.
No, but like it's just I'm at this point now. Like I want to see Rick and Morty do well. I mean, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't even think Rick and Morty's the best cartoon to watch online just now or in the general viewing public.
I mean, my favorite comedic cartoon's always been The Simpsons, and I don't think Rick and Morty's ever going to get close to that because The Simpsons had so much heart as well as laughs, and I don't think there's a few Rick and Morty episodes that make you tear up a little bit and sad, but it's never been quite they've never got the balance quite right. I don't think.
I do like the nihilistically glum approaches of Rick and Morty, like the episode where Rick and Morty literally have to bury themselves in an alternate reality. I love that.
There was one episode I watched last night in season 3 where it's like right at the start of the episode and they go on an adventure and then they just get back to Rick's space pod and they just like burst out crying and they're like, we can't do this anymore. It goes on for like 2 minutes.
I love that scene. I just love the power because they are driving home that hard-hitting message. I mean, it's not my favourite show, as we all know, BoJack Horseman. I mean, it handles the humour and the real sentimentality and mainly heart better than most shows do. But like for what Rick and Morty is and its fan base, I would like to see it. I would like to see a season 4. I just want to see a season 4 that's improved from season 3. I want them to continue in that in that linear structure where they all have a story, where they all intertwine, where they all sort of feel like because that's where the strength of Rick and Morty comes from, because you really get to learn more about these arcs because of its linear feel. Everything feels like it's going in the same direction. We're getting more growth of Summer. We're getting more growth of Morty. We're getting more of an understanding of where Beth is coming from. All we're learning from Jerry is that he needs to die.
No, I think Jerry has his place because when you've got like all these depressed, nihilistic characters, I do think you need someone who's like he's really basic and simple, but he's got a good heart, and it makes the other characters seem a bit more out there. So I don't know. I've always been a fan of Jerry. I mean, I get why people don't like him, but. I like him.
In the show where the main construction of what Rick and Morty is about is pretty much just a nihilism, and like not even to say that like a fake nihilism, because all of these fake nihilists coming out of Rick and Morty are pissing me off. But like there is a genuinely nihilistic tone. But on one hand, you look at Rick, he's got a planet that's 1 million red-headed girlfriends, and at the end of the episode he wants to kill himself. And then there's another episode where Jerry's just kind of happy, just weed whacking his the stone pavement, and you're just kind of like, it is a hard contrast. I still hate him as a character just because he makes stupid decisions and he doesn't think logically.
He does, but that's what humans do. I think that's what makes him relatable. He makes a lot of mistakes.
I don't know, because
he's got a good heart.
Because we look at how Rick is, and unfortunately, everybody wants to be Rick.
Well, Rick is not. Rick is a cartoon character, put it that way. No one in the real world is like Rick.
But people do want to be Rick.
They want to be him, but that's just because they enjoy the cartoon.
But if Rick was real, he would hate what Rick and Morty is.
Yeah.
He's kind of like
don't get me wrong, I think he's a good character. I'm just saying he's not a realistic character, which is fine. It's a cartoon. He shouldn't be a realistic character.
No, there shouldn't be any realism in Rick and Morty. Like, there's more realism in BoJack than there is in Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
You could say The Simpsons as well.
Sometimes in The Simpsons, but like, you know, that's a whole other podcast in itself about when The Simpsons went wrong.
Classic Simpsons.
Like series 1 through 9.
Yeah.
But like everything else that led on from that moment, like I want to see Rick and Morty do well. Hopefully it does well, and hopefully it picks up the same attention that it's got. But I'm kind of like, it's very weird for me that Rick and Morty is quiet on the internet. That, you know, season 4 is announced. It's coming out in November this year, and you're like, damn, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be good stuff. But it's like you said, they released the news at the wrong time. Endgame came out. Game of Thrones came out. There was. Like as much as popular as Rick and Morty is, it's quite clearly not as popular as a Marvel franchise or an anticipated TV show that's been going on longer than the cartoon itself.
Yeah. So do you have any predictions for season 4, or do you not have a clue?
Well, I would like to see the League of Beths. Because obviously we've got the Citadel of Ricks, and they've hinted at the League of Beths, and the only way the League of Beths is possible is if they say that Beth at the end of the last episode was the clone all along.
Yeah, that was a really cool episode actually.
And kills Jerry. I just hate him. I hate Jerry.
If he comes back after, sure.
No, but they'll find a way. Or when Evil Morty is we'll probably get more stuff with Evil Morty as well. Doing some Evil Morty stuff. We'll probably get some other things like that. But like, I want to see I want to go back to that good old fashioned Rick and Morty nihilism thing, and I hope it continues on the thread of this is all a continuation story. It's all going in one direction, and it's all going to be it's all self-contained, and it's not just a sort of episodic. Rick and Morty do this one week, and Rick and Morty do that one week.
So you think it's better when it's like a continuation story rather than self-contained?
Yeah. I'm not one for I'm not one for self-contained stories.
Because I think that's one of the Simpsons' biggest strengths is that it's a completely new thing every.
Yeah, but when
I guess it's a strength and a weakness because it does kind of ruin character development and stuff.
That's literally where I was about to go on, because when you have it when it's self-contained, you can't grow with the characters.
But then you get to an argument: should comedy shows be more about making people laugh, or more about like actual character development?
Well, like,
I guess you got to get the balance right.
If you want to laugh at something, if you want to watch something and laugh at something, then you do have that. But like, if you want for the case of Family Guy, for the case of The Simpsons and Rick and Morty, because their stories are so intertwined, like you can all relate to something that's going on in there. You want them to be out in the open, and you want to see it going on your path.
Yeah.
The same could have been said for Family Guy, but they resorted to trying to make people laugh, and look where they wound up.
Yeah, I've never been a big Family Guy fan. I would always take Rick and Morty over that show.
Yeah, and also we can be perfectly honest here. I'd rather watch all of the bad problems of Rick and Morty over any season of Big Mouth. And if you want to know what I mean by that, I did a review on why me and Louis made a review called "Reasons Why Big Mouth is Shit," and it's on my YouTube channel. Check that out. I hate that show. No, I'm not watching season 2, but that's a Divergent. It's very hard to predict Rick and Morty, obviously, because there's no real continuation now.
I don't know. I'd like to see Morty and Jessica, see if there's any more development to that, because it seems like there's a little bit and then it just goes away and then it comes back.
Yeah, but maybe it's implying, maybe that she's starting to get the gears in her head that maybe Morty's
because that episode where Morty's and Rick split into their good and toxic sides, and she really wants toxic Morty back because the new one just never shuts up.
He becomes Patrick Bateman.
Pretty much, yeah. He's a sociopath or psychopath. So yeah, I'd like to see that relationship developed a bit more. It's such a hard show to predict because literally anything could happen in Rick and Morty.
And Dan Harmon doesn't really like to write to people's expectations.
I mean, no one could predict Rick would turn into a pickle. So who knows? He could turn into a tripod in the next season for all we know.
Well, whatever they want to turn him into next. But that episode didn't really do that well. I mean, people like it. But I don't know.
I liked it because of how ridiculous and stupid it was.
Well, that's the thing, though. At the end of the day, Rick and Morty has to be ridiculous in order for it to work. People take it far too seriously than what it actually is. Like, there's the one episode, like, this is the joke that I reference with you a lot. It's in season 2, and it's when Jerry's in hospital, and the doctor says to him, Mr. Smith, Shrimply Pibble's life can be saved if we replace his heart with your human penis.
It's just so stupid.
It's too stupid to...
That's what makes it work.
The only way it could work is if it was so stupid. Yeah. And it does. And I want Rick and Morty to go back to being that stupid. I just want to have that nonsensical feel about it. And all these people making fan theories about the psychology and the philosophy.
It's really not that deep, guys. Like, guys are like, some of the fans are acting like, oh, you have to be so intelligent to understand Rick and Morty. I know that's a bit of a meme, but some fans probably actually think like that.
Yeah.
And just some fans acting like this is the best TV show of all time. Like, it's a good show. I think it's well written. It's funny.
But at the same,
but it's not the best show of all time.
Yeah, it's not like I get it. If you think it's deep, go ahead. That's great. But remember, there is literally an episode where an alien asks a man for his penis to save his alien leader.
I think that it's just got really good writing, like really clever writing, and then people have mistaken that for the show actually being really deep.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. Dan Harmon's just a talented writer. You can't get over how good Dan Harmon, a writer, is. Like, he wrote Community. He wrote, he's obviously writing Rick and Morty, and he's doing this other stuff with World of Warcraft. The guy knows how to put pen to paper. Problem is, though, right, because nobody else has ever seen a style of writing like that before, they automatically assume that he's the best of his type. And the truth is, he's just doing what other writers should be doing, and that is actually taking time and structuring the scripts.
Oh yeah, especially compared to those Game of Thrones writers, like you can tell, Rick and Morty writers they've properly, thoroughly went through the script. So.
If you want to hear our opinion of the Game of Thrones episode, click the link above. But no, I don't know. Like, I hope. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit paranoid here. Maybe I just don't think Rick and Morty. Maybe because it came out at the worst time, it's not as popular as it used to be. I hope it is, because I will be watching series 4, and hopefully there is something good in it, and they do new stuff. Or maybe this is it. Like, they were contracted to do 70 episodes.
So 7 seasons.
Yeah, 7 seasons of Rick and Morty.
How long do you think Rick and Morty can go on for? Do you think it can become the next Simpsons and be like 20 seasons?
No, I don't think.
I hope not.
I hope not. No. Like, in my opinion, I think...
Because it is the sort of show where you could literally tell a story about anything because of the nature of it and all these different timelines and stuff. So,
but even then, they don't want to make it a show about everything. They you could tell that Dan Harmon is more interested in characters than he is in concept.
Like, I hope the show, like, it's not one of those shows that keeps going on. It has an actual structured ending and everything gets wrapped up. But we'll just have to see if that happens.
I do kind of like the idea of, shows ending at a certain point, as long as they know when to cut it off. Like, BoJack Horseman's got 6 seasons now, I think. Yeah, it's got a 6th season coming out this year. And in my head, I'm kind of like, well, when is it going to end? Because they're already tying up a good few bunch of loose ends as it is. And you can't imagine it going on forever, because that's it, like, because of how it's written. I would like to think that Rick and Morty does the exact same thing, that it doesn't go on forever because it has a point where it needs to stop. Because there comes a point where you're kind of like, well, where can we go next from here? We've literally done everything that we did, to the point where they literally turned Rick into a pickle. Where else can they go? Yeah,
it's very
Death
true.
of Jerry. That's where they can go. But no, so that's my opinions. Hopefully, Rick and Morty season 4 comes out and it's good. Are you excited for Rick and Morty season 4?
I wouldn't say I'm over the moon. I'll watch it, but I'm not like, oh my god, season 4! I can't wait. I'm counting down the days. But yeah, I'll watch it. It's a good show. I can't lie too much. I think some of the fans are obnoxious, and like we said, they overhype it a bit. But it's a fun show to watch. It doesn't take up that long to watch. I watched it in like 3 hours. So yeah, I'll watch it. I'm not like super excited, but I'm mildly excited.
I'll be giving it a watch. I've watched all the seasons of Rick and Morty so far, so I've got to like churn it out to next to see what happens next in it. I'm not as big a fan as everybody thinks, as the rest of the world of Rick and Morty fans are.
You did buy an art book though.
Yeah, but like that's because I did buy the art book, but like that's.
I'm surprised you don't have a Rick and Morty T-shirt.
I wouldn't wear one.
No, me neither.
No, like it's embarrassing to wear.
I can just imagine like someone like this fan, and all he wears is Rick and Morty T-shirts, and he just walks up to people on the street and he's like, "I'm Pickle Rick," just spouting annoying catchphrases. I think that's why maybe a bit of the excitement's gone down for this season, is because some of the fan base, not all of the fan base, like
just some,
the super hardcore fans will just spout annoying catchphrases from Rick in people's faces,
and they're the type of people that will buy Rick and Morty T-shirts from tfury.com and all these different artists, and they'll go to the conventions, and Dan Harmon will just be looking at them wearing a Rick and Morty T-shirt, going, "I fucking hate like
what has my life become?
What has my life become? I'm fucking satisfying a bunch of nerds that think they know philosophy." But no, that's what I think. I mean, I hope it does well. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm looking forward to November when it comes out. So yeah, I'll watch it all then. And who knows, maybe it'll be okay.
Maybe. Who knows?
Hopefully it's better than season 3, because season 3 was lackluster at best, and I would have liked to have seen something better for it.
Yeah, I thought it was okay, but nothing on season 1 and 2 for sure.
That's
sure.
Alright, you guys, that just about wraps us up for the Rick and Morty comments below. Thanks you so much for watching this online. If you're watching us on our Facebook page, please click on the link below to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that. However, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, please go to our Facebook page and like us there as well. The more likes you share for our videos will help us get a bigger audience and help us get out there. Also, if you want to hear us give an opinion about what you would like to hear us talk about next, simply share it to us, write us on our page or even on the comments down below, and we will get to it and probably give an opinion on it.
Definitely. So, see you later, guys.
Ciao.